Victorian Railway Commissioners and Coultas 1888. What are the facts of the case? In this case, we have Mary Coultas, her husband James Coultas, and her brother John Wilson. All three were traveling in a buggy from Melbourne to Hawthorne. When they got to a level crossing, the gatekeeper told them they could enter. When they were around 3 or 4 yards behind the gatekeeper realized that a train was approaching, so he told them to turn back.
Turn back!
It wouldn't have been safe for them to turn back. So James, who was driving the buggy, ended up driving straight ahead through one of the open gates on the other side. Now, the train didn't actually hit their buggy, fortunately, but it was a very near miss. Because in fact, when the train passed their buggy, the back of the buggy was still on the railway. When Mary saw the train approaching, she fainted into her brother's arms. And as a result of the whole incident, she developed a nervous shock, which meant she lost her unborn baby because she was pregnant at the time of the incident. And she also had impaired memory and impaired sight as a result of the incident. James ended up incurring a lot of expenses because he had to look after his wife. Therefore, the Coultas started a case against the gatekeeper's employer, which was Victorian Railway Commissioners. And James and Mary argued that the gatekeeper's negligence was the reason for Mary's nervous shock and thus her illnesses, and as a result, James's incurred expenses. They actually won their case at first instance, and they won their case in the Supreme Court of the colony of Victoria. However, the defendants made an appeal after the decision in the Supreme Court of the colony of Victoria. This appeal was taken to the Privy Council. So what did the Privy Council decide? The Privy Council decided that the nervous shock that Mary suffered was not a natural consequence of the negligence of the gatekeeper. They said because no physical impact had been made, damages could not be recovered. What's the significance of the case? The significance of this case was that it demonstrated that the court was unwilling to give damages out in negligence if no physical impact had been made on the plaintiff. It also demonstrated the court's fears in opening the floodgates to cases similar to this one.